The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the New Media Factory. Some programs on this network might include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
This episode of Good Times with Mo, the podcast, is brought to you by Globe and Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create your own professional website or online portfolio. For a free trial and 10% off your first purchase, go to squarespace.com and use the offer code MO10. That's MO10.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
The biggest, most outrageous online show in Philippine history.
20 million fucking downloads.
Interactive in 35 countries. Mo is back with a vengeance in Season 2. Bigger, better, badder.
Let's start off with an international call. Yesterday we took a call from India. Tonight it's Canada.
Nice. Let's go to Ireland. Where in Ireland are you?
Well, I'm in Dublin.
Some people say that I'm a bad guy. They may be right.
Let's go to Afghanistan. Holy shit, are you fucking really in Afghanistan?
Yeah, man, what's up?
Florida.
What's up?
Just found your show today, and I think it's great.
Live from Hollywood and at the Beyond the Box studios in One Rockwell, Makati. It's Good Times with Mo, the podcast, Season 2. The Bigger, Better, Badder podcast. Your questions about love, life, sex are all answered and occasionally made fun of here. And now, the man who loves women and dudes, but not in the same way. The Philippine genius, DJ Mo Twister.
All right, welcome to the podcast. It is a Thursday night. Good Times with Mo, the podcast, Season 2. Brought to you by Globe. My name is Mo, and our phone number 478-7954. Skype, the Good Times Podcast. Text us 0927-214-1981. No shortage of calls tonight, I am sure, because of the awesome guests that we have today and the topics I'm sure we're going to be discussing on the program tonight. So without further delay, let me go ahead and introduce him to you. He's just one of the great young players in college. He has been this good since he first stormed onto the scene, and my God, the guy does amazing things on the basketball court. He's also, and here's the thing I like about this dude, is because, I mean, I've been interviewing basketball players for fucking ever now. And a lot of them, when they get on shows, they're soft-spoken stuff, but sometimes not a lot of personality, not a lot of smiling. Like, I'll judge how much I like a basketball player by how often he smiles. I know it's probably a weird way to, but I mean, I've covered sports, I've NBA players, everybody, and the ones that stick with you, at least to many reporters and people who are in this media industry, are the ones that are just really genuinely nice, and they smile, and they're accommodating, because they know, sports is, while a competition and such a big part of everyday life, it is to entertain the fans. And when I meet guys like these who are excellent, top-tier players who just have the best personalities, man, I fucking love these guys. And this is one of them right here tonight. Please welcome on the show, Kiefer Ravena. What's up, Kiefer?
What's up? What's up? Hello, good evening
Kiefer,
to everyone.
What is that, man? Your smiling face. Like, I just saw photos of you the other day. You were taking, I think you were next to, like, Susan. She's always got a big smile on you. And I fucking love it because, again, basketball guy player photos, it's always tough guy look. But you're always smiling, man. I fucking love that about you. Are you happy all the time?
Well, yeah, more or less, because, there's so much things to be happy about in life.
It does, it makes me, kind of, when you first came out, I was like, oh God, look at this guy. And I'm not really big into the rivalry, because I went to LaSalle, but I'm not big on the rivalry and Ateneo. But I'll be honest, I generally would like to see both Ateneo and LaSalle not do well every year, like all the time. Just because I'd like to see the Adamsons every now and then, especially the UP, which is like the bottom of the standings every year. I'd like to see them do well. So I'll root against my LaSalle, obviously, even your Ateneo every now and then, just to see the difference. So when Chris Chu was there and Jai, those years, and what's his name? Who played center for them?
Rabah.
Rabi Al-Husseini. So I was like, okay, fine, they've had their time. Let's move on and from Ateneo, and let's get another new team out there and let them do well. And oh my God, here comes Kiefer Ravena, just fucking such balling everybody up. And then LaSalle goes on to a championship. Ateneo goes on to a championship after championship. But this year, different, Kiefer. You guys are not in the finals.
Yep.
We all know it's the Tang boys and UST and LaSalle. What does that feel like? I mean, is it it must not feel good, but is it really just something that eats away at you that, oh my God, look at us, we're so successful, now we're not at the finals?
It really sucks, actually, not being in the finals. Since 5 years ago, naglalaro na kami lahat sa finals. This moment, this time of the year, naglalaro kami sa finals. Pero, you have to give credit with LaSalle and UST, especially with UST coming up from number 4, going to the finals, and, having the chance to win the UAAP championship on Saturday. You have to give it to them. The Tangs are doing well. Very happy for them, knowing that we're good friends off the court. So, pero it's life. We have time to prepare for next year. Yung team namin, it's obviously new. Everyone saw it. But we're doing our best. We're doing our best. Actually, we're starting practice for next year, next week already. So we have to prepare for that. And hopefully, come next year, this time ulit, we'll be playing again in the finals and trying to win the championship again.
Now, is it the level of disappointment in not being there again after 5 years in the championship light? Is it something that you can rub off you right away, whether it be you or your other teammates? Or was it something that the day after elimination or the day of elimination, it's really lock yourself in your room, really feel bad about it?
Yeah,
or are there some guys that can just go, hey, listen, wait a minute. 5 years in a row. I mean, come on, everyone,
Well,
so what? What's once?
Siguro that's the positive thing about it. I think that's a positive thing about it. Guys, we've accomplished so much. Siguro that's one thing that we can get out of this probably trial na binigay sa amin. The only bad thing about it is not, you can't take that away from all of the players. Probably examples are our seniors, the one who graduated. Come to think of it, the undergrads are the only ones who can say, don't worry, we can bounce back next year. That's one thing that really saddens us, knowing that 4 of our teammates are down because they can't say that we're going to bounce back next year. But of course, they'll be happy for us, knowing that if we're able to bounce back next year, manalo kami for them. So I think that's one thing in Ateneo, that the team's never been selfish. The team's always happy when everyone's been winning. No individual awards or whatever. Just us winning the 5 championships. Everyone gets popular. You get noticed in school. Everyone, so out in public. So that's one thing na talagang na sanay kaming mga players na hindi kami magkakanya-kanya. So just have to,
what's great about the collegiate basketball thing is that is your team can get gutted every year, right? I mean, shit. It could be like you'll lose. Like I'm assuming one of the big reasons why maybe one of the reasons you're not there this year is you lose a guy like Greg who eats up 7 foot of space
actually
on the court. That's the thing. Every year you're gonna lose players, and that's what makes also the 5-year run so impressive.
Yeah, actually. And
it's because every year
it's one of a kind. It's a one of a kind run, probably in over a decade or more in UAAP. So very honored na kami to be part of history, probably.
Gotcha. All right, Kiefer. What we do here is we take questions from people all over the country, sometimes around the world. Usually they ask questions about their love life and their careers, and they ask for advice and stuff. But tonight we'll take a little mix. I threw in. I told people out there, hey, why don't you call them with your basketball questions as well? I'm not a baller. Fuck, man, I'm awful on the court. But I'll play an NBA fantasy every now and then. I've been playing. Listen, Kiefer, I know you're a fantasy player as well.
Yes.
So it's fantasy guy to fantasy guy. I've been playing NBA fantasy since when? This might even blow your mind. Okay, it used to be you have to write in your lineup on a piece of paper and mail it to the newspaper because wala pang internet.
Oh, really?
That's how long ago fantasy basketball.
Whoa.
So I was. So you get the newspaper, the LA Times. It arrives. You fill out your your lineup, and then you freaking mail it. Put a stamp on it, and you send it to them, and then they mail you back your results. No internet, and you just would have to go paper to paper to paper to see how you're doing in fantasy. I mean, guys, I'm sure you were too young to even, I mean, I'm 35, but Dale Ellis was my starting shooting guard on the team that I won once a year. I think in 97 or something. So,
Dale Ellis.
these are the days. Yeah, these are the days where no internet, and I was playing fantasy basketball. I love this game. I love the fantasy game, and it thrills me when I see a guy like you who on the court dominates, but off the court really big into the fantasy stuff as well.
It's very competitive, especially in our league. Sobrang competitive.
And you were telling me you're in a 16-team league?
Yep. You know,
that's hardcore, man. That's awesome.
It's the Moro League, Moro Lorenzo League. So all of my coaches, co-players, everyone's there. It gets big trash talking going on.
16 teams. Okay, like if you had the first pick, say you get LeBron, Durant, whatever, however it may be on your first pick, it doesn't come back to you. The draft pick doesn't come back to you for what? Another fucking 30 picks plus?
Actually, our rule is the snake format. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16, 16, 15, 14. Kaya, pag towards the end ka, medyo advantage yun. Kasi you get to pick 2 strong players almost simultaneously, Kesa pag nasa number 1 ka, you get to pick, mauubos na lahat ng players hanggang sa dulo and then babalik pa ulit sa'yo. So, yun yung format
That's true. That's true. Everyone has a different strategy about where they want to draft it.
Yun yung sa amin. To make it fair, kasi dami namin. So, 16. So, it's
16
just to make it fair.
No joke, man. That's nuts. Like, I once played in a 14-team league and I hated it.
Yeah,
just because we're drafting a bunch of nobodies to be part of our team and contribute. And then the thing with the 16 team is you get an injury with one of your first rounders or your second rounders and you're done.
Actually.
I mean, your season's over. Because there's no way you can compete.
But in our league, sobrang competitive. Parang everyone really researches all the players. Yung ad drop, sobrang big yun sa amin. As in talagang nakakonect sa email mo. So sometimes nakakonect din sa phone mo. Ring ng ring. Kasi parang Coach Sandy has ad drop this player. So parang...
the most hardcore person that I know, like, I'm going to give him credit. He's won he wins every now and then, but the most in terms of like, notes, Bobby Yan. I'm not sure if you know Bobby. Okay, Bobby Yan, he carries a piece of paper of the lineup of all the teams in his wallet. Updated. So I remember, like, I'll come up to Bobby Yan and I'm like, Bobby, you want to trade? And he's like, hold on, teka lang, I'm going to look at your team. He pulls out his wallet and may mga kodigo of all the teams in the league, and he kind of just sits there, and I'm like, okay, this is new levels of loser nerd, but he loves it, and I respect it. So let's take some questions about anything basketball related. If you're going to ask a fantasy question, throw it my way, throw it Kiefer's way at the same time. We'll talk a little, of course, more about the life in the UAAP and your regular love life problems that people throw in here as well. So let's get to it. Let's start to Prince. Prince, you've been on hold forever. You are 20 years old in Mandaluyong. Welcome to the show. How can we help you? Line 5. Prince, what's going on?
Yes.
What's up, Prince?
What's up, Prince? Kiefer Ravena on the program.
Good. So
excellent.
So I have this question for Kiefer, and
okay, sure.
I want to ask him which UST Growling Tigers team is better, last year or this year?
Well, probably this year, because they made it to the finals with an injured Jerick Teng, who came from bad shoulder. And come to compare, parang ang nawala lang naman kasi sa kanila last year was Melo, Afwang, and Jerick Fortuna. And all of the other guys stepped up. Dakiwag, Kevin Ferrer's doing big. Of course, the consistent guys, Aljan Mariano and Abdul are always there, but Clark Bautista is always there. But come to think of it, itong finals na to, a big surprise was Sheriff. Sobrang ganda ng nilalaro niya ngayon.
I think
proud of the guy na parang everything that he's been working on is coming out this finals. But I think this year, this team.
Yeah.
This year's UST.
Yeah,
all right, Prince. Anything else?
I also want to ask him who does he think is a better player between the Teng brothers?
Well, as of now, I think both of them are doing well. Pero, you have to love Jerick's tenacity of wanting to win. It's really something na parang you can see na, wow, gusto niya talaga mag-champion on his final year. I think probably Jerick's a better Teng by an inch of just being a senior and really wanting it na talagang gusto niya talagang manalo.
Yeah.
No,
I'm really happy for those boys too.
Yeah,
they seem like
sobra.
really good guys.
Yeah, they are,
and
no doubt.
And what I love about the two brothers is, when one's not playing, the other guy's got the school shirt of his brother on. And, these little kind of just little things that when you see them go through together and them being in separate schools, it's just awesome. And we're scheduled to have them here right after the finals.
Yeah,
and I'd like to ask them about it, but there doesn't seem like a sibling rivalry there at all. I mean, there must be one by default when you're playing against them, especially in the finals. Where
yun nga, parang makikita mo kasi yung talagang may-enjoy mo silang panoorin kasi pag nandun na sila sa loob ng court, nagkakalimutan eh. Parang nakakalimutan nilang magkapatid sila eh. Which is very, nakakatawa kasi we really grew up, basically, I grew up with Jeron playing basketball together. So, parang nakilala ko talaga kung sino siya. And he really worked hard to be where he is right now. So, pag naglalaro sila ni Jerick, nakakatawa. And I can relate because my brother is coming into college next year. So, a lot of people saying na, ano ba to, tandem or rivalry. So, I don't know.
Is he going to be playing for Ateneo?
Probably, let's just wait for him to say that. I don't want to put pressure on my brother,
But if he doesn't play for Ateneo, are you going to give him a hard time for it?
On the court, probably. On the court, definitely.
How good is he?
Well, he just won the juniors MVP, season MVP. So, but they lost the championship, which is like, that's why he's really asar talo sa akin sa bahay. Because I would show up 3 fingers and he would show up 1 because he's got 1 MVP, I got 3 championships. So,
he's going to be special though.
Oh, definitely. Someone you can really watch, the evolution of players also, my time in college will eventually pass by and dadating din yung panahon niya. And hopefully, he stays in Ateneo and brings more championships to Katipunan.
Yeah. All right. Prince, is that it? Or any other questions? Are you done? Do you have any fantasy questions?
I want to ask. Yeah. I want to ask Mo, which type of players do I favor drafting in NBA fantasy basketball? Bigs or guards?
Bigs.
It in my opinion, it varies obviously every year. Yep. As I was saying with Kiefer a little while ago, even draft position varies every year.
Crucial.
On some years, like past years, if you were not 1, 2, or 3 in the draft, 4 until 12, let's just say a 12-team league, which is your more average size. Say 4 to 12, all of those players are comparable in ability, but 1, 2, and 3 are so upper tier compared to the middle tier. That's why drafting early in past seasons was a good thing instead of, say, drafting in the middle of the pack. I think this year, the upper tier talent has kind of broadened. So the best position, at least for me, would be drafting number 7 instead of drafting number 1. Like the separation between a Kevin Durant, who a lot of people say is the number 1 pick, or LeBron, that gap is now smaller when you talk about Harden and Steph Curry, even Paul George. Yep. So because the emergence of those younger players into the elite status, all of a sudden that first round is a strong round, and you can now choose it'd be better for you to choose in the middle or even at top than, say, at number 12, which in some years are good, like Kiefer was saying, but this year, maybe it's kind of weak. At number 12, you're stuck with Marc Gasol or LaMarcus Aldridge, maybe Serge Ibaka and stuff like that. So, you want to kind of be up in the top to about 7 or 8. And in terms of focusing on guards or bigs, generally guards are always the premium, the point guards in past years. But I think this year, it's the bigs. I mean, if I were going to target early, I would target big early and then pick up your assists down the line with guys with emerging point guards like Vasquez, or you can still try to get a Goran Dragic kind of in the mid to, I don't say latter part, but in the mid rounds, you could probably grab an assist guy there. And remember, some of your big guys are gonna get assists. Obviously, LeBron's averaging what? He's probably gonna do 6 assists a game as he does. Yeah, Pau Gasol in this new Lakers system.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, minus Dwight might have a bunch more of assists for a big guy. So I would focus, if you were going to ask me, and Kiefer could probably give a different answer, but I definitely going to target bigs this year. That would be my strategy, and hope that I draft 6, 7, 8, in that area. Kiefer, what do you focus on? Do you think it's harder to come by with the big guys or the small guy stats?
Well, I was like number 10 of the draft last year in a 16 team league. I was able to pick Kevin Love, so I would favor bigs this year also, more or less knowing that there are a lot of players who are emerging like in the guard position who can really be utilities for your team, not necessarily stars, but would give you numbers day in, day out. So if you have a dominant big guy, probably a power forward or a center who would get up points, shoot well, not turn the ball over, and would shoot free throws, you'd be good. I mean, in categories, that's like 4 or 5 categories already. So if you have a consistent guy who would bring it out for you, the bigs would be probably a big change this year.
And I do like Marc Gasol this year. I mean, just because your turnover rate is low, your percentages are always good with Marc, and then he brings it. I mean, but if I was going to take him in the first round, I'd be like, shit, all right, I'll take him. But damn it, with the 11th pick or 12th pick, I still would rather take the upper guys. I mean, Kevin Durant, James, Harden, Paul, Steph. Even Love still in that conversation up there. Exactly. Fucking Kyrie Irving, Paul George, those guys. I would love to have one of those guys early on. Thanks for the questions, Prince. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Prince.
I want to ask you, because you were talking about his question about UAP stuff again. When it comes to, but this is probably a more controversial thing, but when it comes to the game buying that everyone says exists, do you as a player see it? Like, do you have I mean, without naming names, obviously, because that's not right, but do you actually see, like, shit, I think this guy's getting paid?
Well, as a player, kasi parang that's one thing you don't want to believe in. It's like probably violating the 10 Commandments, probably. Because just to give an analogy, kasi parang as a player, parang binabastos mo yung laro if you're doing that eh. So that's one thing that you don't want to believe in, even though people say that it happens, this guy is getting paid to lose the game for them, or at least get the score close because the odds are like small only. So, pero, ako personally, hindi ako naniniwala sa ganun. Pero, definitely, sometimes when it's really too obvious, you see it already. So,
you just zone it out, play your game,
more or less, I know that it's happening. I know that I'm aware of what's happening. I'm not really a big fan of it. So, I mean, yun lang siguro.
Yeah. It's tough because, I mean, with the popularity of the UAP, and it's so popular.
It's a big avenue for a lot of things.
God. Yeah, it's so much avenue for people to kind of get involved in it and trying to kind of mess it up and stuff like that. And as one of the big names in it, I mean, I'm sure no one comes up to you because you're Kiefer. They know what you're about. They probably know your structure at home. And all of these things. They know what you're about. But maybe another guy, and I don't know. Shit, it's tough to probably as a player on the court, and if you know what's going on, try to zone it out, play your game, and see, see how things play out. But it must break your heart if you actually do see it. How about you personally? When it comes to the ultimate dream, you're coming into your 4th year now in Ateneo, and this being the last. And obviously, you're going to want to win a championship now. But after the collegiate career, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Is it the PBA? Is it obvious?
Yeah, of course, the PBA is always there. But first of all, I would like to make sure that I'm ready, physically, mentally, emotionally ready for the PBA, because me watching the PBA sometimes napapaaray na ako eh. Parang just watching, parang it hurts me already. So with the type of game the PBA, pero coming to the dream of playing in the NBA, it's still there. That's my ultimate dream talaga na ever since I started playing basketball, I really wanted to play in the NBA. So I just have to work hard, try to really impress people and try to dominate here in the Philippines, because I believe that for a Filipino to go to the NBA, you have to really be something special to get the eyes
Sure.
of international coaches, international scouts. So
So you wanna? Is there gonna be a wait? Hold on. How many years you get? Can you still do it? Nothing. Two?
two. I got two more.
Oh, sorry, I said one. I
Yeah,
apologize.
I got two
gotta
more.
correct
I got
that.
two more.
Yeah, you got 2 more years. Sorry. After 2 years, do you then go to an NBA camp, or do you kind of
'Cause
have
it-
an agent that's gonna try to? I mean, how do you even try to achieve the NBA dream?
Actually, technically, I can't go to college in the States anymore. Well, I can, but I would waste a lot of time. Mainly because, you have to sit out and then play a couple of years and then just get drafted. That's probably going to take up another 4 years of my
That's right.
life. So, what's the most probably probable thing to do is finish my college here and then try to go to the States and hopefully get an invitation to the draft itself already. So that's one thing na talagang we're looking na, because I can't really go to college there anymore. It's too late, more or less. It's too late. So yun na lang. Pero I have to focus first on my 2 years here in Ateneo and see what happens. If the opportunity arises.
You've played with NBA players.
Yeah,
when they
definitely,
come
yeah.
to the country, stuff like. Can you see yourself, or do you? I mean, obviously there's confidence and stuff like that, but do you think you're going to do it? Do you think you're going to be able to ball at that level, at the NBA level?
I want to, and siguro with the willingness and really if I want it, and I can play with them naman. Just have to really work hard, because the NBA is the NBA, as everyone knows it na. As I've said, you have to be something. You have to be that extra special player who penetrates in the NBA. So, yun lang for me. I have to work my butt off probably just to get into the NBA and eventually work from there na pag nakapasok na ako, alam mo naman kaya mo nang makalaro din mga players na yun. So,
I mean, if I sit here and imagine the large scale of attention. I mean, you get a lot of attention already just by balling in the UAAP, but the attention that you'd get, it would be Pacquiao levels if you got into the NBA.
oh, probably definitely. Not just me.
Right?
If,
I mean, it would just be nuts.
kahit sinong Pilipino siguro makapasok sa NBA, ako mismo, kakamayan ko talaga siya para lang masabi na ang galing mo talaga na. Alam mo yun, syempre as a Filipino,
of course.
wala nang ego yan. Pag Pinoy kasi ang nakapasok dyan, parang lahat syempre matutuwa ka na lang na, Pilipino yan, nakapasok na yan. Hindi man ako pinakauna, kung may mas mauna man sa akin, matutuwa ka na talaga, parang wala ka nang hihingin pa. So, any Filipino would do. Of course, I would be happy if it would be me. Pero,
Sure.
alam mo yun.
When did you know? Last question. Then we gotta take a break here. When did you know you were good? Like, when did you know? Like, shit. I'm gonna be in the conversation of the best. At what age did that really kick in for you?
Siguro, I didn't know. Probably people knew. When people started to tell me that I'm going to be good, ang galing kong player, that's probably one thing that how you could handle success eh. Parang if you really accept it na parang, you have to be responsible with the things you do also. Parang with false humility, it's going to be hard on you rin na parang if everyone says na magaling ka and then you just say na, hindi, swerte lang, hindi, ganyan lang. That's one thing na parang mali. Pero for me, siguro, I knew na magaling ako nung sinasabi na nila na magaling ako. And then, I watch my games din also minsan, out of probably sheer vanity na pinapanood ko na lang yung games ko minsan. Minsan natutuwa ka din, uy, paano mo nagawa yun, di ba? Parang, kahit pa paano, bata pa rin naman ako, di ba?
Sure.
I'm still enjoying basketball. So, yun, siguro that's the time na with the age ko siguro, when I was in high school, third year high school, yun siguro yung time na parang ang dami nagsasabi sa akin.
I'm sure you've always known you can play the game well. I mean, that starts at a young age. You know that, okay, yeah, I'm amongst maybe the best in my school. But when did it sink in? And maybe it is high school for you that I am going to be in the conversation of the best players. Like, that's what you are, Kiefer. I mean, since you first came into the UAAP, it was shit. You're in the conversation now of the best players there. So it becomes a level not of just a good player, but a great one. And I guess, I don't know if it's first championship or maybe, like you said, it does start in high school. I mean, I asked this question to a lot of the NBA stars. When did you know you were really, really good? And they said, oh, I knew I was going to be in the NBA when I was in first year high school.
Yeah,
I knew that the competition talaga was not, I was above that level,
yes.
And some people they find out a little later. So it's always interesting for me because for people listening to the program who are younger, who are in high school and stuff like that, or maybe who are in college and said, okay, you know what, I'm going to take that leap now, like Kiefer did. And from high school, this is where I'm going to start separating myself from my peers and then be that special player that, you are obviously today. So, yeah. All right,
Yep.
cool. Let's take a break. When we come back, more questions. I mean, sorry we're not taking your calls because I have so many questions that I personally want to ask Kiefer Ravena, but we'll definitely take them because there are a lot on hold right now. It's Good Times with Mo, the podcast, Season 2, brought to you by Globe. Kiefer Ravena on the program tonight. Phone number 478-7954. Skype, The Good Times Podcast. You can even text us, 0927-214-1981. Back after this.
Stay tuned. We'll return after this commercial break.
With All-Stars, we're always on the move. It's really important for us to get better and stronger for every competition that we get into. For all the different lifestyles that we have, some of us are graphic artists, filmmakers. We still find ways to get together. We put a lot of effort in practicing and rehearsing. Minsan may mga biglaang shows or auditions, so it's really important for us to get connected. I use my Globe group messaging to get a hold of everybody else. Malayo na rin ang narating namin, marami na rin kaming napuntahan. So it's really important to get connected.
Everything for the scary and sweet is at SM Supermalls. The SM 3-Day Sale happens on October 18, 19, and 20 at SM City, Bicutan.
SM 3-Day Sale!
Up to 70% off on great finds. Shop and get a chance to win Suzuki motorcycles.
SM 3-Day Sale!
The SM 3-Day Sale on October 18, 19, and 20 at SM City, Bicutan.
See posters or print ads for details. Per DTI NCR permit number 6125, series of 2013.
Hi. They say nothing in this world is free, and for the most part, that's true. But here at NMF Network, all shows are indeed 100% free. And as an added feature, you have the option to subscribe to all your favorite programs, also at no charge. Why should you subscribe? By subscribing, you no longer have the hassle of delays when you stream the program. You also don't need to keep checking our site to see if your favorite programs are up because they'll automatically be uploaded to your device as soon as it's available. Here's how to do it. For those people with Apple mobile devices, first you need to download the podcast app. Once you download the podcast app, open it, and you should be taken to the featured page. Now, you look for the store button. Hit the store button, and after doing that, hit the search button. Put your cursor on it and type New Media Factory. All our shows should automatically appear. Pick your favorite or favorites, open it, and hit subscribe. And that's it, you're done. Congratulations and welcome to the New Media Factory family.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with a game Chubby Bunny, but have you played Chubby Bunny before?
No.
You put a marshmallow in your mouth, you say Chubby Bunny, and you keep putting it in your mouth, and you keep saying Chubby Bunny.
Okay.
Whoever can get the most in their mouth wins. But we're not gonna say Chubby Bunny. We're gonna have a conversation.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you, okay ka na ba? Okay. And you're gonna be like, okay na, okay na.
Okay.
Okay. Okay?
Yeah.
Go.
2 at a time?
Okay, we're gonna do 2 at a time. Okay ka na ba? What?
Okay na, okay na. I just saw it.
Okay ka na ba?
Okay na, okay na.
Okay ka na ba?
Okay na, okay na.
Okay. No, not this one.
Hi. They say nothing in this world is free, and for the most part, that's true. But here at NMF Network, all shows are indeed 100% free. And as an added feature, you have the option to subscribe to all your favorite programs, also at no charge. Why should you subscribe? By subscribing, you no longer have the hassle of delays when you stream the program. You also don't need to keep checking our site to see if your favorite programs are up because they'll automatically be uploaded to your device as soon as it's available. Here's how to do it. First, open iTunes. Your next step, hit the iTunes Store button. A search bar should open up as soon as you do that. Type New Media Factory in the search bar and all your shows should open. Pick the show you like or all the shows you like. And once that opens, hit the subscribe button. And that's it, you're in. All shows will now be automatically downloaded to your device.
What show?
That show!
It's that show.
You know, that show. It's that show, pare.
Oh, that show. Oh. Yeah, that show's cool. We talk about
Oh, what does this look like?
vagina and
Like a double blowjob.
vagina.
Who is the asshole that decided to shave this shit off the entire planet?
Sometimes we like to talk about
It's like when you guys like high-fiving on a girl and then you're doing her in the butt and you're doing her in the mouth. High five, bro.
vagina. Vaginas.
And you're jacking off really intensely, but like massaging your balls and shit. I'm not talking about a Chewbacca, man. I'm just talking about a nice little, you know.
Vaginas.
And don't miss that spot, like the Cowper's gland. It's like in between your balls and your asshole. But not me, because I'm a guy.
Yeah, that's a cool show. You should watch it. I think we're on Tuesday.
What you've been missing on The Factory.
Were you the one who posted, James, regarding the guidelines when it comes to checkpoints?
Yes, I was.
That's fantastic.
Yes, I just made it up, but you know, I thought it was. This time of year, right? Elections. You know, you never let the truth get in the way of a good story. Okay, children, do not follow this at home. I'm just kidding. Just so you know your rights. If you do get stopped by a checkpoint, you are not.
We're able to verify all of these, James.
You're not allowed to run over them. That didn't make it here. So technically. Now, number 2, upon approach, slow down. I guess that counts as not running them over. Dim headlights and turn on cabin lights. Okay.
Cabin lights.
Mm-hmm. Lock all doors of vehicles. during inspection, since lock.
They might get pissed off because you're locking.
But that's the
doors.
thing.
Okay.
This is where they get you, and this is actually, I know we're making fun of it a little bit, but this is a serious issue. We've seen some people genuinely harassed. Drugs are planted, and other things, you know. A Justin Bieber CD is planted, which is even worse.
Oh,
yes,
no.
I've heard of that, you know. And there's no defense for that. There's really no defense. Yeah, it's like, but Your Honor, we found this. Throw the book at him, the CD as well.
Then after that you have to submit your cell phone and everything, and next thing you know, you have a Justin Bieber ringtone.
Catch James Deacon and the boys on Counterflow Wednesdays 7:30 to 8:30 only here on The Factory.
Friend says she hates me.
It's Good Times with Mo, the podcast. Call the show tonight and get your love problem answered.
Follow us on Twitter at GTWM Podcast.
And visit www.motwister.com.
Back on the program here on this Thursday night, Kiefer Ravena on the show. Of course, of Ateneo, star player there. One of the star players in the league. Kiefer, thanks for being here, man. Hope you're having a good time.
Yep, definitely.
Kiefer, when you're balling people up in a game, what number of points, or if there even is a number, when you hit, you're like, hell yeah. Like, is it 30? I always feel like I've never scored over, like, even in a recreational game or liga sa barangay game, I've never scored more than 10 points in my life. So if I get 10 points, I feel
as
like
long as you win, though,
I'm the greatest.
As long as you win.
No, yeah, obviously the priorities too.
Yeah.
But let's say after winning now, what's that number for you? That when you score, you're like, hell yeah, look at me. Look at me eat up the competition. I always assume it's 30, because 30 is really
actually 30
big
number. 30 is a big number come UAAP.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not every day like the NBA na someone scores 30. So
right.
Parang probably 30 is a big number, pero ako personally, wala eh. Parang I just try to score as much as I can, and eventually when you look up the scoreboard, I just lit up the scoreboard. Whoa. Okay, right. Parang it's more of the after effect than the game na parang pag conscious ka. So I don't really dig that stuff.
Until maybe
until after
at least dig it. Yeah. I once asked well, I mean, I don't know if I asked this to Allen Iverson. I think I asked this to Allen Iverson long time ago about the competitive edge.
Mm-hmm.
The little things that players do, whether it be yourself, a teammate, a kalaban, whatever, that little thing that you do to gain the edge on somebody in a game. And he said he doesn't take a shower. Before the game, because he wants to smell as bad as possible. And why? Because you take the speed of an Allen Iverson in his prime, and he's already fast.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he's fast and he smells bad, it would actually make him a lot faster, because you're concentrating on this thing that's taking your mind off his ability, and his ability already is better than everyone else's. That little thing, though, that little stink, is enough to keep you kind of disoriented, and he'll beat you even worse. I don't even know if it's a true
that's
story.
The first thing I've heard.
First time you've heard it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the competitive edge. That one little thing you do. Kevin Garnett, I remember, I asked him the same thing, and he told me, I just can't recall because this is years and years ago, but it's the little things. I'm going to hold the guy's shorts. I'm going to look for where the ref is, and I'm going to, wherever that kind of blind spot is, that's where my elbow to the ribs goes, and that's where me holding it. The little things. And do you have any of these kind of quirks that you think about when at the game?
It really is an advantage to have a professional, a former PBA player as a dad. So
he gives you the little
tips.
tips.
So the little tips, parang I've watched this documentary. I'm sure you've heard about it, the Fab Five.
That's right, of course. Yeah.
Parang Jalen Rose, he said, yung sobrang competitive niya, yung trash talking skills niya.
That's true.
Yung he would research about the star players' bio data, and then come game time,
family.
yung family niya. How's your mom? And he he would say the name of the mom. Parang ganun siya competitive. Pero siguro it really gets ako yung tips lang simple gulang lang, not intentionally hurt anyone. Of course, that's
Right.
not the point. But to gain that every bit of advantage is really essential in basketball. You would never know na parang yung timing mo kasi yun ang pinaka-importante kasi it would either make you or break you. If you get caught, you're out of the game. So
Right.
you have to be careful.
With the trash talking, is there a lot going on in the UAP? I've asked this to several players. I asked this to Jeron a couple months ago, and he told me Buenefit just doesn't let up, man. I mean, this guy's all over you verbal. I mean, he backs it up. He definitely he definitely walks the walk. But boy, does he talk it too, man. I mean, there's just a lot of verbal coming out of Buenefit, and he probably is the most prolific trash talker in the UAP. And again, he can back it up. He can ball, of course. Obviously. So
it's part of the game, I think.
Right? Is he really that lot of lip
I think
on the court?
I think Ryan is definitely a talker. I would really be a witness to that, of him being a talker, a big talker. But as you said, na parang you can talk as long as you want, as long as you walk the walk.
Now,
Parang,
has he said anything that Jalen Rose level that you've heard him say to someone on the court, or is that a secret that you can't really share to us?
hindi ko alam kung
like natawa ka. You're dribbling the ball and Buenefit mouths off something to somebody. You're like, wait a minute, bro.
Natawa lang ako. Parang one time na parang kalaban pa namin si Ryan noon. Sa San Sebastian pa siya. High school ako. And I have this teammate. Medyo malaki siya. Medyo chubby siya. And then sabi niya doon, parang hulaan ko luto ng nanay mo. Pork chop, no? Parang ginaganon niya. So, parang, tapos yung hulaan ko anong ulam niyo sa bahay. Pork chop, no? Ginaganon niya yung teammate ko na medyo chubby-chubby. So, parang ako natatawa ako kasi parang ano ba sinasabi nito? Hindi man related sa game. So,
right.
That's one thing I really remember about Ryan. Kasi ako high school pa lang ako. And it's the first time I really heard it na parang trash talk mo. Parang yun pa.
No, you don't get into it. I mean, do people trash talk you a lot? Or I mean,
sometimes it's really some ways of people trying to get in your nerves. It's really more on you how to handle it, na parang depende na talaga sa'yo kung paano mo i-handle yun eh. And personally ako, I do some trash talking, parang not necessarily yung talagang mumurahin mo, yung say bad things, just to like fire up everyone else, na parang I trash talk just to fire myself up. It's that type of trash talking na parang not to mangasar or not to tease anyone. It's more of, to me, to try to fire myself up, especially if I'm in a slump or not doing well. More or less dun ako lumalabas kasi parang it's a way of me expressing yung dami ng iniisip ko na gusto ko talagang bumawi, and then emotionally it just comes out. So, ayun.
Let's talk about that, being in a slump. Where are you at mentally when you're shooting? Let's throw a number out there. Let's say 7 for 20 in the field.
That's not bad,
I don't know
actually.
if you're throwing up 20 shots, but let's say you do 7 for 20, 6 for 17, and you're in the fourth, and it's a close game. Where are you mentally? Are you know what? So what? 6 for 17. I don't care.
I'm more of that type of player. I mean, I'm more of a. It's either we win or we lose on my count. Parang ganon type.
So no doubt in your ability.
No numbers.
Yeah, no doubt in your ability at that moment.
Yeah, no, none. Probably it's just the way I was raised by my parents. Growing up in a very competitive family, with my parents as athletes. Parang, and as for me, it's an opportunity again for you to rise. And it's an opportunity for you to make your team win, which is the most important thing in basketball. Na as long as you, by hook or by crook, you have to win.
You gotta get the
So
W.
yeah, definitely. So it's either we get that W on my shoulders na if we lose, okay, blame me. If we win, okay, masaya tayong lahat.
Okay,
that's more
okay,
of
that's because that's because you're option number 1. What if option number 3 starts believing he's option number 1? What do you go through as number 1?
Well,
like you can sit here and you can say, fine,
yes.
it's I'm gonna propel my team for the W on Kiefer Ravena's shoulders because you know you're the best player on the court. But what if your third option is like, well, come on, I want to taste some of that Kiefer, fanfare.
Well, siguro,
how do you
where
delegate that?
That's where trust comes into play. I think in a team, you have to really believe in each other. Parang, if you're option number 1, kasi sa team namin, makikita mo lang kung sino yung option number 1, option number 2, option number 3. Pero yung mga tao lang yung nakakapagsabi nun eh. I mean, those who are watching,
Sure.
Kiefer's the main guy. Okay, Wami is the next option. Ryan's the third option. Something like that. Pero kaming team namin, inside, which is the most important thing kasi you all know that you're the only guys who are playing. So kayo lang may control. So kami parang with the trust that we have in each other, I think there's no option 1, there's no option 2, there's no option 3.
Sure.
It's more of a who wants to take it ba talaga.
Yeah,
So
who's the best position to take it right now as well?
I mean,
right?
I could get the ball and waste the time and then just set it up for my teammate Ryan, who's more open than me.
Sure.
So it's not necessary that I take the shot. It's more of, try to take charge and make, sabi nga ni Coach Sandy, parang make the winning play. Not necessarily you have to take the winning shot, take it's more of the winning play na parang you create for someone else, or if ever you create for yourself, that's most important.
Gotcha. All right, Kiefer, listen. As people are sending me messages saying, "What the hell, man? Take my calls." We've got a ton of calls. Are you ready to go?
Yep.
I'm engrossed. It's always good to have one of the best on the show, and sometimes I hog the ball. I think I'm option number 1 in questions when there's still many people out there who want to get in on the show. So let's do it. Ralden, you're 21 in Manila. Thanks for the call. You're on line 6. What's up, buddy?
We lost 6.
We lost. He was on the cell phone. All right, let's go to 5. Kat on 5. What's going on, Kat? You are. How old are you, Kat? 21, Manila.
Hello?
Hi, Kat.
Hello. Hi, Kiefer.
What's up?
Hello.
What do you got, baby?
Well, I'd just like to know, Kiefer, about your honest prediction about Saturday's game. And are you gonna go and watch the game live?
To be honest, I really haven't watched any UAAP since we lost. I don't know why. Pero predictions, I think if LaSalle continues to dominate inside, I think they would win. Pero I think UST has a very, very, very big edge experience-wise. You can't beat that kasi parang when time comes na parang labanan na talaga, I think UST has an edge when it comes to experience. But if LaSalle prevails, and it would be because of their big guys, and of course if Jeron plays well again, because the fun thing about the series is the tanks always negate each other. Parang Jeric's playing well, Jeron's playing well, so it's more of who will back up the tanks, diba? So parang ako, that's my prediction. Whoever's teammates would perform well, that's the team who's going to win. If Jeric's supporting cast would do well, UST would win, just like game 1. If Jeron's supporting cast in game 2, like AVO, Norbert, they would win game 3. So yun lang.
Who do you want to win? Like, do you even care, or do not care? Just as long as it's not my team, I don't care. Whatever, who cares?
It's really, I would want UST to win just because of Jeric. That's mainly my reason for UST to win. But we'll never know. It's a game. You won't see the winner until the fourth quarter buzzer sounds. So I think you just have to wait. It's definitely going to be exciting. That's just one thing that it won't be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. So yun lang. I think viewers would be very happy.
I like this. When it comes to and you get this question probably a million times, Kiefer, in interviews and whatnot. The whole rivalry, the La Salle. By the way, thanks for the call, Kat. Appreciate it. The La Salle Ateneo thing. Does it mean as much to you guys as it does to the fans? But I feel like the fans have taken it way too seriously.
Yes.
And the players are like,
I think
guys, relax.
the players just get carried away with how the fans treat it. Pero, as players, being part of that rivalry is an honor for us. We always talk about it. Pero I think the fans are in a different level when it comes to the rivalry talaga eh. Parang...
And does it make you play a different, more passionate playoff atmosphere
parang
game because of it?
Parang kami sa dugout, we don't need extra motivation. It's La Salle. Parang ganon. I think that's the same as we don't need extra motivation. It's Ateneo. So, coming from the point of view of having experienced both playing in La Salle and playing in Ateneo, I think the fans really are parang the rivalry. You would see babies wearing jerseys, shirts of an eagle carrying an arrow or a broken arrow that young, and parang you'd see old people, very very loyal alumni who would watch and talagang support na sumisigaw pa talaga. So yun talaga yung tao that's probably exaggerates the rivalry. It's how people treat it.
Now, whose fans, again, I don't know if you'll answer this, but which school's fans behave, let's not say the worst, because they're they're cheering on their school, but let's phrase the question where hindi naman ma-offend yung mga fans nila, no? But which school is the most hostile? There you go. When it comes to you. I mean, because we can ask this to any NBA player. Which stadium is most hostile? Oh, they'll say, San Antonio is very difficult. Or Golden State, boy, you go in there, Madison Square, they're awful. Which crowd is most on your case?
On my case, definitely, probably La Salle would be in my case. But same as probably in Ryan's case and everyone's case, kung ano man yung makalaban namin, I think as Ateneans also, kung sino man yung talagang quote-unquote star player ng kabilang team, that's the target. I mean,
right, but there must be certain schools that are just a lot more brutal. Like they just say the Jalen Rose level of not the players, but the crowd. You'll hear it.
You get a different taste for every school. I mean, different schools say different things. I think that's the best way to put it. Pero I think the case of La Salle kasi parang yun nga, the rivalry kasi parang iba eh. So that's one thing na parang kaya siguro ko nasabi La Salle. Not saying na everyone's brutal, everyone's on my case, but I think with the rivalry kasi parang Ateneo La Salle ibang klase din. So I think it really magnifies it. Parang
by default it just makes
it's
just go
parang no match, kumbaga yung iba no match. So nagiging ganun.
Let's talk to Ralden now here on line 6. Ralden, 21 Manila, what's up? Ralden? Did we lose him? Are we losing him? He's on a cell phone, so we're probably losing him every now and then.
No, Ralden.
If we don't, let's take some of the province ones. Like try Jonah of Cagayan, and let's throw a couple out there. I want to ask you this though before we get to the next question, Kiefer.
Yes.
Your best play of all time. Like, you can... The reason why I reference NBA players all the time, Kiefer, and I apologize, is because I do interview them regularly.
Yes.
And like, for example, I was talking to DeAndre Jordan recently, and I said, DeAndre, let's obviously take back to the dunk
Brandon Knight.
from Brandon Knight where you killed him. Yeah. And it's like, let's talk about it again. He's like, I love talking about this. Nothing against Brandon, because Brandon took it well.
Oh,
Brandon took it fantastic.
Definitely.
He did such a great job.
He took 2 brutal blows in probably a couple of weeks with him getting crossed by Kyrie Irving during the rookie sophomore game.
That's right.
Probably like 2
but
weeks
he
after
also
the
took it
dunk.
well in terms like on Twitter.
Yeah.
He said like something like, "So someone didn't tell me that the Clippers like alley-oops," or something like that. Very sarcastic.
Actually, I saw that.
Which was very witty on his part.
Yeah,
But when it comes to your best play ever, do you have one in your mind that you go back to and go, "Man, I remember that one"? Or like you said, for vanity's sake,
Siguro
you'll watch it.
is-
You'll watch it again.
One is probably I have a couple. I think the number one that really stands out is the dunk against Abdul.
Right.
I mean,
I've seen that.
I don't know if when I'll be doing that again anytime soon. Then the next one is probably the last shot of my last shot of UST game 2 of the finals. Parang it was down to 3 points. We were up by 3. It was like 30 seconds or so, and more or less it stands out for me kasi parang that last shot of Jordan wherein he pushes
Against
off
Brian
Byron Russell a bit.
Russell, yeah.
That's somewhat what I did, and after it parang ang daming nagsabi sa akin it was like Jordan-esque, something like that. So I was like, oy, astig, parang
All right, I'm going to put you in my shoes then. All right, now here's my challenge to you. If you're so good at what you do, Kiefer, I want you to commentate your best play. Like, do our job as broadcasters. You're watching Kiefer. What would you say?
For
and don't be
vanity's sake?
bashful. Yeah. Vanity. Be generous in your explanation of your own play.
Oh, shucks.
Pick one. Pick the dunk or your Jordan-esque. Pick one of the two. But how would again? I know you've watched it, and I don't know who was calling it at the time. Maybe it was Boom. Shit, I don't know.
More or less
But
Boom.
yeah, you're in his shoes. Now you're doing that.
Shucks.
You don't have to. You don't have to be awesome at it because you're not a commentator. But give me your best shot at.
Let's try to do the dunk. I think.
All right, let's do the dunk. All right, what did you want it to sound like?
Let's sound like probably. It's hard to sound like a Boom Gonzalez and a TJ Manotok, of course.
That's right.
Let's probably sound like more of a Kiefer Ravena. So no pressure or anything like that. So I think how will I start? Parang
Humility aside, really go all out here. Just to kind of.
Humility aside. Let's see. Shucks. Parang okay. So it started. Okay. So Kiefer Ravena pressuring the ball. Jerick Fortuna comes off the screen. Kiefer Ravena tries to steal the ball. Okay, Wami Changson pokes it. Kiefer Ravena for the fast break. Kiefer Ravena flies high. Kareem Abdul in your face.
Beautiful. There you go.
Something like that.
The greatest play. Now, do you ever talk to him about it? About dunking on him?
No, not really. I mean,
does he
nung first part, parang after nung game nung it happened, we talked na parang, we just had fun. Parang, oh, you got one on me, he just said to me. And I was just like, oh, yeah, what? I got on you. I got that on you. So it was just on a high. I was just on a high. Pero, Kareem and I are good friends. Kareem is a great guy on and off the court. And we just laughed about it after that. He gave me that probably 7-8 seconds of fame na parang after that okay na, kabigan na kami ulit. And then up till now parang it's just a joke na lang na parang nangyari yun, nagkakalokohan na lang. And then it's really something to look back na nakakatawa din kasi parang nangyari yun.
Gotcha. All right, let's go to Zan. Zan, you're on line 5, 19 years old in Laguna. Let's try this out. Zan? Sorry, 6. My fault. Line 6.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Zan.
Hi, Zan.
Kiefer Ravena on the program. What's
Hi,
up?
Kiefer.
Hello.
So I just wanted to ask you something. So since you're a basketball player, do you find girls who play basketball attractive too?
You find girls who ball hot?
Well, I used to date a basketball player before, so I think it's really attractive kasi parang it's more of, thinking na, you'd understand each other because you play the same sport. It's more of that parang I think you would talk about everything. Na you would always have a conversation knowing that you guys talk about basketball na parang ganon. So I think kasi I think always having a conversation is really an upside. So I think that's one thing na parang okay pag basketball player.
I can answer that. If they're hot, yeah. I mean, we'll take anyone who they can do anything they want in their life, just as long as they're hot. Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, that's pretty attractive. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Zan. Thanks for the call. We appreciate
you,
it.
Zan.
All right, let's take another break, and we'll get to some more of your calls and more questions here with Kiefer Ravena on the program tonight. It's Good Times with Mo, the podcast. Phone number 478-7954. Skype, The Good Times Podcast. Text us 0927-214-1981. Follow Kiefer on Twitter at Kiefer Ravena. Taking a break. Back after this. Don't go away.
Stay tuned. We'll return after this commercial break.
With All Stars, we're always on the move. It's really important for us to get better and stronger for every competition that we get into. For all the different lifestyles that we have, some of us are graphic artists, filmmakers. We still find ways to get together. We put a lot of effort in practicing and rehearsing. Minsan may mga biglaang shows or auditions, so it's really important for us to get connected. I use my Globe group messaging to get a hold of everybody else. Malayo na rin ang narating namin, marami na rin kaming napuntahan. So it's really important to get connected.
Everything for the scary and sweet is at SM Supermalls. The SM 3-day sale happens on October 18, 19, and 20 at SM City, Bicutan.
SM 3-day sale!
Up to 70% off on great finds. Shop and get a chance to win Suzuki motorcycles.
SM 3-day sale!
The SM 3-day sale on October 18, 19, and 20 at SM City, Bicutan.
See posters or print ads for details. Per DTI NCR permit number 6125, series of 2013.
Hi. They say nothing in this world is free, and for the most part, that's true. But here at NMF Network, all shows are indeed 100% free. And as an added feature, you have the option to subscribe to all your favorite programs, also at no charge. Why should you subscribe? By subscribing, you no longer have the hassle of delays when you stream the program. You also don't need to keep checking our site to see if your favorite programs are up because they'll automatically be uploaded to your device as soon as it's available. Here's how to do it. First, open iTunes. Your next step, hit the iTunes Store button. A search bar should open up as soon as you do that. Type New Media Factory in the search bar and all your shows should open. Pick the show you like or all the shows you like. And once that opens, hit the subscribe button. And that's it. You're in. All shows will now be automatically downloaded to your device.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with a game Chubby Bunny, but have you played Chubby Bunny before?
No.
You put a marshmallow in your mouth, you say Chubby Bunny. You keep putting it in your mouth, and you keep saying Chubby Bunny.
Okay.
Whoever can fit the most in their mouth wins. But we're not gonna say Chubby Bunny. We're gonna have a conversation.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you, okay ka na ba? Okay. And you're gonna be like, okay na, okay na.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Go.
2 at a time?
Okay, I'll learn 2 at a time. Okay ka na ba? What?
Okay na, okay na. I just saw it.
Okay ka na ba?
Okay na, okay na.
Okay ka na ba?
Okay na, okay na.
This episode of Good Times with Mo, the podcast, is brought to you by Globe and Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create your own professional website or online portfolio. For a free trial and 10% off your first purchase, go to squarespace.com and use the offer code MO10. That's MO10.
Friend says she hates me.
It's Good Times with Mo, the podcast. Call the show tonight and get your love problem answered.
Follow us on Twitter at GTWM Podcast.
And visit www.motwister.com.
So what's this I hear on Twitter here that Casey Concepcion's dating? Is that right? Or kind of went on some sort of casual date with Chandler Parsons?
Oh,
is this
man. I don't know. I just
So he turned down Susie, huh?
Susie. No, actually, I was listening to Susie earlier this afternoon, and Susie was just like the usual self of, I just know that Chandler is cheating on me. Okay, so it's okay. I know he's cheating on me. It's okay. As long as he comes home to me, it's fine.
I was with Chandler, maybe a couple months ago, and I was like, can you send a video to... I pull out my phone. Can you send a video to Susie? He's like, Susie, I'm waiting for you on our wedding day.
Oh, really?
She was like, yeah, she was so...
Nice.
She was so nuts and stuff like that. So, but yeah, sorry, Susie. I mean, what are you going to do? It's Casey Concepcion. Come on, man. You got to get realistic here. She's crazy. All right. Let's
Susie,
take more
you got
calls.
to be realistic.
Yeah, but he's dating Casey, but he proposed to you. All right?
Okay na. Okay na.
Yeah, kabit
Not
lang
bad
yan.
bargain.
You're wife number one. You're fine. Let's go to Alvin, who's on line 4. Alvin, you're 25, Quezon City. Welcome to the show. Do you have a question about Ateneo and what they're going to do next year? Thanks for being on hold. You've been on hold for god-awful... Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time. Yeah, thanks, man. And for everybody else who's on hold and being patient, we appreciate it. Hang in there. We'll get to you. Alvin, this is Kiefer Ravena. What's up?
What's up?
Kiefer, ask ka lang kung
Sure.
totoo ba na may dalawang Africans na may insert sa lineup niyo next year.
Hindi.
Tapos,
Okay.
kung makapaglaro na si Lambert Tenorio sa Team A niyo.
Mm-hmm. Well...
Is there a rumor going out that you guys are going to recruit some African?
First question, answer to the first question is no. We won't have any African players next year. And with Lambert, I still don't know if he's going to go up with us, Team A. Magkakaroon ng tryout, definitely, if, I don't know, if Lambert shows he's worth it. I mean, it runs in the blood of being a good ball player. And, hopefully, if Lambert shows na kaya niya maglaro, I mean, the coaches won't definitely think twice of putting him in the lineup. So, yun. I think...
Now, Lambert is...
LA's brother.
LA's brother. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right. And there's no chance... Wait, is there a chance that you and your brother are going to be on the same team?
Yun nga, parang, I don't know. We'll probably wait for 30 to come out with the decision.
That's right, because he hasn't... he hasn't said. He hasn't officially said he was going to play.
Yeah, he hasn't really committed to any school, and we're just waiting on him.
Come on, man. What, I mean, who are you talking to? Come on. He's going to be in Ateneo, right? I mean, please.
I just wait for him to say it.
You're doing the right thing, but I mean, we all know what's going to happen. But now, okay, let's say hypothetically, you and your brother are in the same... same team.
I'll
same
be
on the
number
court,
15.
Are you... What do you do? Do you look out for him like a brother, or do you look out for him as a teammate first?
It's more of that. I mean, kasi parang sa team, as a teammate, parang you treat each other as brothers na eh. So paano pa kaya pag magkapatid talaga kayo sa totoong buhay? So it's more of an edge na parang sabihin
but
mo
see,
lang.
I don't get how the tanks do it. Like, is it kind of like, because I'm so my brother, like my immediate family. I love my siblings, and I would do anything for them. And if I ever, now I don't play, so I don't know what the mentality is like. But let's just try. I'm trying to imagine what it would be like if I was on the court and my brother was on the other team. I would tell my teammates, if any of you give my brother a hard time, I'm going to kick your ass. Especially if it was
Actually.
if I was the star player, it's like, don't mess with him. Like, no elbows, no nothing, And sometimes when you watch...
Iniisip
Sorry,
ko
go
din
ahead.
yun eh. Iniisip ko din yun parang for Jeric as a senior, parang sinabi niya ba sa mga teammates niya na wag anuhin si Jeron? Parang gano'n. Napapaisip din ako eh. Parang it's really cool to think about it na ano kaya yung nangyayari sa iniisip ng dalawang to. So
yeah, like let's get back to Ryan. Like if Ryan, I would go up to Ryan. If you trash talk my brother, if you talk about pork chops or anything, my brother.
Well, he graduated already. So
I know. But I mean, that's what I would do. I would go with the one who I thought would be the biggest problem, and I'd say, hey, you better not.
Instinct na lang yun, instinct.
Yeah. But I mean, you talk. We could talk about like say Pau and Mark. When they're playing, they do seem like. And they do seem like close brothers, but on the court, they've had hard fouls against each other.
Actually,
So
parang
it's kind of weird.
Mas mahirap pa sa kanila kasi I mean, big sila, so all the banging happens down there, parang sa post talaga doon nangyayari. So bungguan talaga silang bungguan sa I don't know what's happening to them. I don't know what their parents are
But
saying.
they're incredibly... Now, okay, would you
it's
agree
really more hard
that
than the parents,
Mark,
I think.
Would you agree that Mark and Pau are the best brothers to ever play this game?
To ever play this game.
I'm trying to think. Okay,
Yeah,
obviously you have your Grant brothers and your Lopez's and stuff like that. But ironically, both of them are twins.
Twins.
Sets,
The Collins are twins.
That's right. The Collins are twins. Would you say though that the Gasols are the best brother tandem? And I can't think of. And there might be one back in the 50s or the 60s that we at our age we don't.
The Griffins.
We don't know,
there are Griffins. Blake
Griffin, so what do you mean, like
Blake Griffin.
Blake and
he has
brother?
a brother. Yeah, he has a brother plays for Phoenix. So definitely not them.
Definitely not them. It'd probably have to be the Gasols.
Yeah, I think more or less it's the Gasols who are the best brothers.
That's what I mean, man. Get your brother on Ateneo. Run with that group and try to be known as best brother tandem in UAAP. If we talk historically, you have the Lago brothers play together in LaSalle in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. In the mid 90s. Any other awesome brother tandems?
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about it also.
Sorry, I'm such an awful interviewer. I should have
I don't know if the Aldiguers were teammates in LaSalle if nag-abot sila. I definitely they'll be good. Probably the Lagos.
No. Let me erase this. Sorry, guys. We'll get to your calls. I promise. Father-son tandem. That would be then a conversation that you can have also with you included. I mean. There are. I mean, you can go Alvin and then his. No, he's not. That's his brother. Father-son. Who's the best father-son?
Father-son.
Aside from you and your dad.
Well, the Tangs are there.
Benji Paras.
Paras and the Paras. Kobe and Andre. They're on the rise, so we have to take care of the throne. us and the Tangs.
Oh man, that's right. Those boys can ball.
Yeah, they can jump too.
Oh my god. No. We'll let me research this and then maybe we'll come back to it after a little bit later. Let's go to so no African players next season for
and there's still tryout for Lambert. So hopefully I answered your question.
Yeah.
Questions.
All right, thanks for the call, Alvin. We appreciate it. Let's go to. Let's try something new. Let's go to a love problem. Let's see how Kiefer does in love advice. Pam, 23 Manila, you're up on line 5. What's up, Pam?
Hi. Yes, I just want to ask something. Hi, Kiefer and hi, Mo.
Hello.
What's up? How are you doing?
Hi. We're great, thank you.
All right. Anyway, so I was just trying to ask because there's one guy that he told me he likes me, but he's so inconsistent. The last time we communicated was at least 1 month ago, and then just this day he chatted me, and then it's like he told me gusto kita makasama, something like that. And so and then for me it's like, no, really, but you're inconsistent and complicated. So,
When you
what
say
can you say?
inconsistent, what are you looking at here when you say inconsistent? You mean he'll go
Like
away?
Or parang hindi siya palagi nagpaparamdam, or what's
yeah. Hindi siya lagi
inconsistency?
nagpaparamdam.
Okay,
Inconsistent,
so
like,
he would talk to you and won't text for a couple of weeks and then talk to you again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. This is an important question. Excuse me, Kiefer, if it's a
All
little
right.
rough.
Sure.
But are you guys having sex?
No, we're not.
Are you close to having sex?
With this guy, not at all, not yet.
Because it sounds like he's getting a few benefits and then kind of leaves when
He's satisfied.
gets some. Yeah, and then he'll come back around when he feels the urge to have a little bit more benefit. Or he's hoping for something like that. Like, here, Kiefer, you tell me this, and I don't know how many relationships you've been in. I mean, you're fairly young. What are you, 19? You have a birthday coming up, right?
Yep.
In a few
19.
weeks.
Yep.
Likewise, you and me. We have birthdays coming
Yep,
up.
yep, yep.
And I'm 19, you're 27. Where was I? Okay, yeah. Guys, if a guy likes a girl, Kiefer, he really likes, like, if you will know he's going to be around you all the time.
Yep.
I'm sure, Kiefer, in your busy schedule with practice and games and then interviews and more practicing and all of that, when you like someone, you're going to make time.
Yes, definitely.
Right. So if this guy is inconsistent and in and out and whatever, he definitely doesn't
In
like
for
you at the
something.
capacity that you think he does. And there might be some reason there, like he might want something from you. And usually it's carnal. Usually he'll just want a piece of you, and kind of that's how it's going to be. I don't know, Kiefer, you agree, Kiefer?
Well, yeah, if the like part of the guy is more than something, I think the guy would really make an effort like to make you fall, or at least make you interested in entertaining him, not just magpaparamdam lang and then would sign off quickly rin, paparamdam lang ulit. Parang it would keep you guessing, and I think he likes something, parang ganon, may gusto siya makuha from you. I think that's one thing. So if he's consistent with you, na I think it's more than that something na gusto ka niya. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. I think this is not a good foundation to kind of have, or a good start if you're looking to make this guy a boyfriend. I mean, really, there are guys, trust me, and as I'll say it again, if they like you, they'll move mountains to let you know about it. And if this guy is kind of in and out and absentee, and sometimes he's there, then it's not a good foundation to be on if you're looking to make him a boyfriend. You can date him every now and then, sure. But in terms of hoping that this is going to materialize in something special, I doubt it, considering the body language. All right?
Yep.
I see. All right. Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank you.
All right, you hot stuff. Do your thing. Did your dad ever talk to you about the whole, man, they're going to be girls, son?
Oh yeah, definitely.
What did he say about it?
Of course, he would like just give me advices. Accidents happen and everything else. So there are things that you don't want to regret on happening. So he would give me advices lang na parang, just be careful. Yun nga, you have a responsibility, not just any responsibility. You have a social responsibility of being a good role model and everything like that. So he's the one who's reminding me, my dad and my mom, sila yung palagi nagre-remind sa akin on the things I have to do, of course, especially of the court.
That's a very good point. I think both of them have brought up the social responsibility, Kiefer. You are, I mean, at least in my opinion, the most popular Ateneo student in the country, right? I mean, it would have to be said that would be the case. Or debatable, at least, that you're the most popular. So in a sense...
Jasmine,
True, right. And with that, the school indirectly is affected by your behavior.
Yes, definitely.
Right?
Dala mo na siya palagi. Para
right. almost the
You're
representation.
the perception of an Atenean. So
Oh, exactly. Now, every student it represents their school, but you more than every student in that school. Right?
It's like more before kasi parang when I was in my RP youth days, we would go out of the country and our managers or coaches would always remind us na whatever you do will represent Filipinos. So it's more of that kind of stuff here in Manila na nandito sa
Right, but to
Pilipinas.
represent Filipinos outside. Okay. I think there's a huge difference between going abroad, representing your country in some sort of,
competition or something.
Competition.
Yeah.
You're fine, but we look at you. I think people will still look at you as an individual outside.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, you're a Philippine
really
team.
differs on the culture din eh. Parang yun nga.
Right,
siguro,
but our culture, shoot, man,
different.
you are so Ateneo more than you are human.
Yeah, it's actually
you walk around.
that kind of situation. But it's acceptance and it's really a positive thing na you can't really take it negatively. I'm sure there are a lot of other people who would want to be in my shoes naman, 'di ba? Parang ako naman yun yung iniisip ko na I was given this opportunity to be in this position. I should grab it and as much as possible try and, progress as a person while I'm in that stature and then be better on and off the court. Kasi parang, syempre lahat ng tao nakatingin sa'yo and pag ganun, lahat sila iniintay ka lang nila magkamali.
That's
so, try to pull you down. Pero, I have a lot of people backing me up na parang nandun lahat, especially the Ateneans, the Ateneo community has been there all throughout for me and for the team na parang kahit nasa baba man kami, they would try to pull us up. So very thankful kami dun and as in my position.
It must be a lot of pressure though.
Yeah,
every day there must be something you're like, oh, can't do that.
Yeah, you just really can't remove that. I think that's one thing we've really tried to live with ever since.
Yeah, that's why you got to be like me. Just be bad. So you can say anything you want. And people don't expect much from you. They know you're going to get in trouble. They accept it. It's kind of fun also. No, but yeah. Now, what is life like inside Ateneo for Kiefer? Like,
normal.
I mean,
it's actually...
You must never have to pay for a drink when you're at the cafeteria.
It's actually normal. I mean, to be honest, it's more quiet than, going out to the mall or something like that because everyone's just your friend. You're just walking around the campus, going to your next classroom, trying not to be late, hanging out with your friends. That's siguro the most normal time I am very happy ako na parang you just think of school, your friends. That's the time you get to be with them besides with your teammates. So ayun.
I just feel like guys like you, maybe Chris True, guys like, they'll never have to pay for a drink ever when they walk inside. Like, I'm thirsty, I could use a Coke or whatever. And then you go to the cafeteria. No.
In the cafeteria, so...
Mr. Ravena, here, extra ice. It's like, come on, man, 5 championships, let's go.
That's how I face value.
Right, I know. It just seems like you never have to do that. But all right, I get you. Let's go with Jonah, and then we'll take our, I think will be our final break here. Jonah, you are... Now, you know Jonah here on the phone, right? She's really big follower of everything that you do. So she's 22 in Cagayan. She's on line 6. Hi, Jonah. Welcome to the program.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Jonah.
Hi, Keith.
Hello.
That's right. Now, who's Jonah to you, Kiefer? She's like one of your big...
well, actually, hindi na nga fan ng touring ko kay Jonah eh. Parang, syempre, lahat sila parang family ko na rin eh. Parang, sure. Of course, kung ano man yung meron ako ngayon, kung hindi dahil sa kanila, hindi ko rin makukuha. So that's the way how I treat them.
All right. Well, Jonah, thanks for being here. You called in. What can we do for you, love? You have a question for Kiefer.
Ano to?
Ano yung ginagawa niyang preparations for next season?
It's an awkward time for you right now, not playing in the finals. So what are you doing?
Ngayon,
break?
Ngayon break. I'm done. I mean, I'm actually done with school. So it's just kasi last year kasi that's probably one thing that we didn't have was time. Kasi parang everyone was injured, so we didn't really have the time to practice 16 strong. So, parang putol-putol, minsan 10, minsan 11 lang. minsan magna-9 pa. So, putol-putol. Ngayon, hopefully with no injuries, we get to prolong our practice time and really practice to the dot na parang wala kaming minamadali come season time kasi parang mahirap magmadali kasi parang hindi ka nakakapag-isip ng tama eh. Parang you don't really get to prepare on what the things you have to do. So, yun yung ginagawa namin ngayon.
Alright.
Yun. Jonah, nasagot ko ba, Jonah?
Hello?
Hello, nasagot ko ba?
Happy?
Apo.
Alright.
Yeah, happy.
Alright, John. Thanks for the call, love.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Jonah. Kita-kits soon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Practicing for throughout the season, early in the morning, and I don't know what your coaches are like.
Gabi.
If they, or is it every night? Okay, night.
Yeah, night.
Do they run your ass hard there?
Oh yeah, especially off season. Off season's the best of the worst, probably. Parang dun lahat, everyone throws up. The only good thing about off season is we get to go to the States.
Sure,
yeah, we're always in Vegas, of course. With the support of MVP and everyone else, we get to train with top coaches. So yeah.
Now, is there times in practice where you're like, because it is practice, and where it's like, come on,
more of a
not
routine,
so hard.
right?
Yeah, not so hard. No, don't work us too hard. It's practice. You ever have that kind of feeling, or you want to work as hard in practice?
Well, hindi. Parang it's really hard to. Parang more on hindi sa work hindi sa more on practice na naman ganon, pero hindi yung sana naman hindi mahirap yung practice, pero kasi yung mindset namin we always have to be ready for practice. Parang siguro nga to the point na sanay ka na lang na okay may practice na naman, pero hindi ako yung tipong sana hindi naman tayo pagurin na to, sana relax lang, sana scrimmage lang tayo, pero it's more of the, you have to be ready with the mindset of really working hard talaga. And that's how you get better naman.
Are you not allowed to play basketball recreationally when you're not?
We are. Yeah. Pickup games.
2-1-2 at any pickup game you want. Barangay, it doesn't matter. You see it. Okay.
Probably not just any commercial leagues that would violate any rules with regarding to eligibility. But pickup games with my neighbors, brothers,
Your dad.
Yeah, my dad.
Can your dad still ball you?
At some points, he could still, bully me. That's the term. Try to bully me inside.
But you can beat him now.
Yes. I think his time passed already. So
trash talking to dad.
Yes,
love it. That's awesome. All right, let's. I know that. I want to take a break, but before we do this, I have to actually do a segment here real quick. But when it came to your time, you told me off air that you were able to play with Kobe Bryant and these guys that you look up to. You play video games. I'm sure you play the 2K series and stuff like that. What is it like to share the court with guys like a Kobe and international superstars of this game, the game that you love so much? That must be amazing.
It's actually amazing. That's probably the best word to put it in, na parang sobrang surreal lang ng moment na especially playing with them, me throwing an alley-oop pass to LeBron James, probably a highlight of my basketball career, even if I was the only one who just threw the pass. Parang,
right.
How many people can say that na, I threw a lob to LeBron James, so that's a feat. It's actually a moment na parang hindi mo makakalimutan na maikwento mo pa, di ba, na with Nike, with sila Kuya Gino giving me the opportunity to give that pass if it wasn't for them, na parang LeBron is LeBron kahit anong sabihin mo, di ba? So very thankful ako dun. So
do you have like a room in your house filled with pictures of, say, the alley-oop and trophies and medals and I mean, because not just you, I mean, your dad, and your little brother and stuff like that. There must be a living room dedicated to bahay.
Well, my room, actually, our room with my brother, yung awards nandun, yung pictures with local and international superstars nandun. Pero yung masterpiece ko, syempre, yung buhat-buhat ako ni Kobe noong 1997 nung pumunta siya dito. Kobe carried me and then I was able to get his autograph early this year. Na-signan niya yun and naalala niya pa yun. So, pinakita ko sa kanya. Sabi ko nga sa kanya, pwede ba natin ulitin? Buhatin mo ako ulit. Pero sabi, hindi, injured daw siya. So, pero, hindi. I think that's one of the things that I would always remember also.
Fair enough. Man, gosh, if I've never won a trophy for anything in my life, but boy, if I had a room like yours, I would be just walking in. I'd just sit there and walk in there and just kind of rub in and touch them again and such. It's kind of cool. All right, we got to take a break. But before the break here, I just want to remind everyone, hey, speaking of memorabilia and put up a website, put up a blog, stuff like that. Those are good ideas. And if you're going to do that, how about Squarespace? Squarespace is the blog that I used, the platform that I used for motwister.com, which was doing incredible numbers at the time, and which I'm going to, again, revitalize in the next coming weeks with the new podcast coming out. So Squarespace definitely improving their platform when it comes to new features, new designs, even better support. They have beautiful designs that you can start with all the style options you need to create a unique website for you, or whether it be your business or whatever you're using it for. Now, Squarespace has won awards in design awards from prestigious institutions like the Awards, the FWA, the Webbies, the Forbes. It's incredibly easy to use, but if you want some help, Squarespace has an amazing support team that they're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Over 70 Squarespace employees are at the customer care team, which of course is based in New York. Many of you guys know that because it is a big brand. Their office has been nicknamed the Care Bear Layer. So the customer support team, again, also has won numerous awards. They recently received the Gold Stevie Award. It starts only at $8 per month and includes a free domain name if you sign up for a year. Every design automatically includes a unique mobile experience that matches the overall style of your website, which I used on my phone. Like if I was somewhere and I was covering something and I wanted to put it straight up to the blog from my phone, it was super easy. There's an app and stuff like that. Your content will look great on every device every single time. So start a trial with no credit card required. You can just build your website. When you decide to sign up for Squarespace, make sure you use the offer code from the show. You get 10% off of your first purchase, and you can show your support by putting MO10. So that's where you get it from. So Squarespace, everything you need to create an exceptional website. Try it. I'm telling you, people who want the blogs and stuff like that, do it. I did it with motwister.com, and it was fantastic. So let's take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap it up with Kiefer Ravena tonight. You can maybe, if you still have time, we'll see if we can squeeze in a couple more calls that have been on hold for quite some time here. But it's Good Times with Mo, the podcast, season 2. Don't go away. Back after this.
Stay tuned. We'll return after this commercial break.
With All Stars, we're always on the move. It's really important for us to get better and stronger for every competition that we get into. For all the different lifestyles that we have, some of us are graphic artists, filmmakers. We still find ways to get together. We put a lot of effort in practicing and rehearsing. Minsan may mga biglaang shows or auditions, so it's really important for us to get connected. I use my Globe group messaging to get a hold of everybody else. Malayo na rin ang narating namin, marami na rin kami napuntahan. So it's really important to get connected.
Everything for the scary and sweet is at SM Supermalls. The SM 3-day sale happens on October 18, 19, and 20 at SM City, Bicutan.
SM 3-day sale.
Up to 70% off on great finds. Shop and get a chance to win Suzuki motorcycles.
SM 3-day sale.
The SM 3-day sale on October 18, 19, and 20 at SM City Bikutan.
See posters or print ads for details. Per DTI NCR permit number 6125, series of 2013.
Hi. They say nothing in this world is free, and for the most part, that's true. But here at NMF Network, all shows are indeed 100% free. And as an added feature, you have the option to subscribe to all your favorite programs, also at no charge. Why should you subscribe? By subscribing, you no longer have the hassle of delays when you stream the program. You also don't need to keep checking our site to see if your favorite programs are up because they'll automatically be uploaded to your device as soon as it's available. Here's how to do it. For those people with Apple mobile devices, first you need to download the podcast app. Once you download the podcast app, open it, and you should be taken to the featured page. Now, you look for the store button. Hit the store button, and after doing that, hit the search button. Put your cursor on it and type New Media Factory. All our shows should automatically appear. Pick your favorite or favorites, open it, and hit subscribe. And that's it, you're done. Congratulations and welcome to the New Media Factory family.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with a game Chubby Bunny, but have you played Chubby Bunny before?
No.
You put a marshmallow in your mouth, you say Chubby Bunny, and you keep putting it in your mouth, and you keep saying Chubby Bunny.
Okay.
Whoever can fit the most in their mouth wins. But we're not gonna say Chubby Bunny. We're gonna have a conversation.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you, okay ka na ba? Okay. And you're gonna be like, okay na, okay na.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Go.
2 at a time?
Okay, I'll learn 2 at a time. Okay ka na ba? What?
Okay na, okay na. I just saw it.
Okay ka na ba?
Okay na, okay na.
Okay ka na ba?
Okay na, okay na.
No, we don't just
What you've been missing on The Factory.
Were you the one who posted, James, regarding the guidelines when it comes to checkpoints?
Yes, I was.
That's fantastic.
Yes, I just made it up, but I thought it was this time of year, right? Elections. You never let the truth get in the way of a good story, okay? Children, do not follow this at home. I'm just kidding. Just so you know your rights. If you do get stopped by a checkpoint,
You are not allowed
we're able to verify all of these, James.
You're not allowed to run over them. That didn't make it here. So technically... Now, number 2. Upon approach, slow down. I guess that counts as not running them over. Dim headlights and turn on cabin lights. Okay.
Cabin lights.
Mm-hmm. Lock all doors of vehicles during inspection. Lock.
They might get pissed off because you're locking.
But that's the
doors.
thing.
Okay.
This is where they get you. And this is actually, I know we're making fun of it a little bit, but this is a serious issue. We've seen some people genuinely harassed. Drugs are planted. And other things, a Justin Bieber CD is planted, which is even worse.
Oh,
yes,
no.
I've heard of that, And there's no defense for that. There's really no defense. Yeah, it's like, but Your Honor, we found this. Throw the book at him. And the CD as well.
Then after that you have to submit your cell phone and everything. And next thing you know, you have a Justin Bieber ringtone.
Catch James Deacon and the boys on Counterflow Wednesdays, 7:30 to 8:30, only here on The Factory.
Friend says she hates me.
It's Good Times with Mo, the podcast. Call the show tonight and get your love problem answered.
Follow us on Twitter at GTWM Podcast.
And visit www.motwister.com.
Back on the program here, Kiefer Ravena on the program. Shit, I was about to say Kiefer Sutherland. Sorry. We were talking about Kiefer Sutherland off air here, and how, I was saying how I loved Jack Bauer's character in 24. And Kiefer, you told me that you were actually named after Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah. My dad was a big fan of the Lost Boys before. So, voila.
Your dad seems like a tough dude. I've never met him. I don't think I've ever met you in person. But, when you say... when you're playing with him and he plays tough and he likes the Lost Boys, he seems like a tough guy.
Well, very competitive lang, very competitive, very in all aspects. Pero when you come to meet him, parang sobrang kulit talaga, you know. Sobrang gulo talaga. Kaya maganda yung relationship namin kasi, you know, it balances everything out. No, there will be a time na daddy figure, best friend figure, coach figure, nagbabalance lahat. So that's the good thing about it.
Hey, here's one thing before we take the last batch of calls and we get out of here is, Kiefer, I was saying this off air as well, and I might as well say it on. I'm impressed by your knowledge of basketball history. Generally, what at least I come to find is the guys that play the game, they don't really mess around with the stats and the trivia and this and that. They concentrate on their game, and it's us guys who don't play that are
into it.
You know, I guess book nerds when it comes to this game. But boy, you really can get on the nerd side. Like,
yes, definitely.
I was talking about all of you on air, like jersey numbers of players way before your, like, I mean, maybe you were 5-6 years old probably when these guys were playing, and yet you know their jersey number and stuff. So I'm pretty impressed at that.
Oh, so parang sobrang actually, besides from a basketball player, I'm really a basketball fan. So yun talaga yun.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I'm impressed by that. I applaud you for that.
No,
well, okay, one last one I like to ask, at least from our part. When broadcasters are critical of your game, do you let it affect you? I see a lot of NBA players these days, even other sports, that when a commentator says something during the broadcast, during the play-by-play, or maybe on a article, the players are now a little bit more fiery. They'll fire back at
kasi siguro,
are you like that?
I think it's more of the culture nga eh. Parang, I think if you're in the States, you'll get away with that, especially if you're a star player, di ba? Parang if you're...
but I mean, it's come to a point where, like, say, DeMarcus Cousins, right? I mean, he went up to Sean Elliott. That's Sean Elliott. And it's like, you know, they're face-to-face already because it's like, dude, DeMarcus, it's commentating. That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, yun yung gagawin. Well, yun nga. I think it's really... Well, siguro sa States kasi parang you could get away with that. Pero here, if a commentator would really say something and... kung as a player and kung yun naman yung pinapakita mo, I think ikaw pa yung magmumukhang siguro a little more stupid pag paglalaban mo pa rin na bakit mo sinabi yun. Eh, yun yung nakikita niya eh. Commentator siya. That's his job to say what the viewers don't know about you or what anong nangyayari, di ba? So, I think pero to the point na ako hindi ko naman siya pinapansin. I think it's really more of a help for me na, you know, if someone says na actually na-appreciate ko yan, sila Boom, sila TJ, you know, some say that they're really biased on other schools and everything else, which is really funny, pero I really appreciate it with Boom telling me a lot of stuff na minsan I texted him na yun nga, I need to bounce back from a lackluster performance. Sasabihin niya, siya pa yung pinakauna magsasabi sa akin na, yun, wag ka lang magigigil. You know, Boom's not my relative or anything like that. Pero, you know, you would really appreciate it na kasi sila talaga yung nakakita ng play-by-play eh. So, alam nila yung pinag-uusapan nila.
From day one
of
your
diba?
Athenaeum career
and
to this.
They know what they're talking about. So, yun lang. Ako hindi naman ako umabot sa point na...
So it comes to a point then, what you're saying then is, if you hear criticism from, say, an analyst or
it's
something
more of a
like
lesson.
It's okay.
I take it as a lesson. More of a like a diss or something to put me down.
But when people throw out, like you and I mean, when Susie, who's hardcore LaSalle, and did not meet you yet, on the radio show, it was Kiefer the Flopper and shit like that, and it was a lot of that talk until she met you, and then she becomes, you know, she's a huge fan and stuff. But at those times when you hear that, and you know, I don't watch the UAP as much as she does. When
I would
says,
hear that
Kiefer,
in the morning because I was still in high school or first year college. I would hear that in the morning. Every time it's like, they're talking about me again.
I'm like, really? Kiefer flops, really? So when you hear that, like the flopper one, because it's the one that people go to the most.
Yes.
How does that bother you? Do you go, wait a minute, am I really flopping, or
well,
these guys are just looking for something to piss me off?
Siguro kasi parang I think ang iba kasi parang I think other people don't know what's happening inside the court. Sometimes
Sure.
they don't really know that we get hit and it really hurts. Sometimes masakit talaga. So minsan lang, it's an advantage din kasi parang, I mean, it's not illegal. I'm not doing something illegal and I'm
That's
not the
right.
only one doing it.
Right.
Diba? So, probably I instigated it. Pero, it works. It's my way of coping up with the things I lack. Siguro, I'm not
My
the
thing-
fastest. I'm not
The way I would defend it is the way you said it too. It's not illegal. I'm not doing anything wrong, right? And competitive edge.
Yes.
Like whether you want to call it, well, you can call it whatever you want to call it. But the word flopping is trendy. We don't
Yes,
hear
yes,
that.
yes.
I mean, come on, you know that you're an NBA historian or basketball. So you know that word
it's
wasn't
a fine
thrown around
right now. Good.
Yeah, now it's
probably
but that word wasn't
I'll
thrown
stop flopping if they put up a 10,000 peso fine if you flop like the NBA. Right? In the NBA, you get like a 25 grand fine if you flop. They're like, oh, shucks.
Yeah, right. No, but the thing is, like, I wouldn't. No matter what they say, whether it was coming from my mouth because we're jumping on this joke
Yes.
that we thought, but it'd be like, dude, look at the numbers, look at the wins. We've done our job. I mean, I would defend it in other. I would defend it, and whether it be going up to someone who's going to criticize it publicly in a media.
Well, probably
kind of
siguro ganun lang. Parang the opposite team really just hates it, but Athenians love it. So, I can't really think of, too deep on what other people think about my game. I just have to do what I have to do to get that W.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I'd love that attitude about it. One last call because I'm looking at the time. We should be out of here. Is this a Bea 21 on line 6? We'll just take Bea na lang. Yes.
No Bea.
No Bea? Okay, good. All right, just want to make sure. She wants to know. Guy admitted that she liked her, but the day after he acted like nothing happened, they even watched LaSalle UST Game 2 together, and he then just left her after that. Kawawa naman. All right. But Kiefer, I gotta thank you for being here, man. I really appreciate the time
Thank you.
and
No problem.
the conversation.
This has been
every night.
Long in the making already.
That's right. I've been trying to get you on the show for a while, but
Yeah.
every night we talk about people's love lives and stuff like. It's just nice to have a little change and talk about
definitely.
you, hoops, and all of that. And I mean, to be honest, I think you and millions of Filipinos know this. You are an extraordinarily great player.
Oh,
and you're
thank you.
really, really good at what you do,
Yeah.
and just keep on doing it. And if there's a guy that's gonna make it to the NBA na Pinoy, I hope it's you.
No,
I
thank
really
you.
do.
Sana.
I really do. And you've always been ahead of everybody because of your ability. So sana that kind of step forward that you've always had on people can translate into a NBA career one
Hopefully.
day. Hopefully. So we'll see. Next thing you know, it's going to be your brother who makes it.
Yun lang. Parang malulungkot pa ata ako dun. Joke lang.
I know. So it's going to be like,
Pero of course, who wouldn't be happy for that? Na parang,
of course.
Still my family name.
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to next season? Let's try to be realistic for all the huge UAAP fans out there. Obviously, you're gonna lack. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys lack size.
Definitely.
Compared to some of the other teams out there. How are you gonna overcome this? What are we looking for in Ateneo next season?
Well, more or less, the style of play would be still the same. I mean, nawala na yung height sa amin. And then, probably a little bit more of the recruits. Hopefully, everyone else gets to play. Just our best. Parang yun lang. I mean, that's what we've been giving ever since talaga yung best namin.
Do you think, and obviously nobody, and gotta be realistic, nobody wins a championship every year, but to do 5 in a row is
that's a feat. Yep.
And a feat,
Definitely.
right? But it's gonna come to an end. I mean, come on. They're winning streaks, but they're not championship streaks. You can't do 10 championships in a row. It's just crazy.
It's hard.
So, so has this year's quote unquote failure to win the championship, does it bring you guys back next season as mad, angry, and
it's definitely never a failure. It's always a lesson. That's how we take it. Never a failure, always a lesson. Chance to improve, chance to be better as a team, as individuals, as a team.
But are you mad? Are you mad? Are you gonna go in mad? Are you gonna mad in not mad in a negative way, but mad
definitely.
in like
Hungry.
maybe the better term is hungry.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely. I mean, my years in the UAAP are ticking fast. So next thing you know, I'll be graduating. So I wouldn't want to waste any opportunities. We're going to strive for that one peat next year.
Right. That's right. Now, last one, and this is maybe more personal, but a lot of people might be able to, I guess, share the sentiment. The Ateneo jersey, that very popular blue, that is more popular than any jersey in UAP. When you put it on, is there a sentimental feeling? I've never played at a level where people watched. I mean, the barangay is as far as I got. But every time you put on a jersey that had your name on it, and it meant,
definitely.
That Ateneo jersey, and what is that like, man? Just to hold it and to put it, or is it not a big deal anymore? I don't know.
It's definitely always a big deal. Parang it's an opportunity for you to carry the name of your school with playing the sport you love. So what else can you ask
in
for?
Particular, like Kiefer, like the question is like, okay, so let's say you make it to the NBA, and you put on an ugly jersey. Let's say
a Pelicans
whose jersey is awful. I'm sorry, which one?
A New Orleans jersey.
Exactly right. Yeah, the Pelicans. That's an awful jersey. You're right. That's a crap jersey. Compared to putting on a Laker jersey. You mean you get what I mean now? Like the Ateneo jersey is such a I don't know.
Well,
man.
siguro kasi parang
weird
ako hindi
feeling, right?
Well, actually, hindi ko na rin naisip yun eh. Pero, yun nga, siguro, I don't want to speak na parang dahil pangit yung ibang schools naman yung value nun. Pero it's more of probably, ito din siguro yung nararamdaman ni Terence Romeo pag sinusuot niya yung FU jersey. Ito din siguro yung nararamdaman ni Jeron, ni Jeric pag nagsusuot sila ng UST tsaka LaSalle respectively.
That's true.
So, I think ito siguro sa akin, ito yung nararamdaman ko as an Atenean. So, yung pagsusuot ko nun is a chance for me to represent the school in something that I really love to do. It might differ with Jeric's, Jeron's, or other players' way of wearing their jerseys. Pero I think one common thing with us is we like to represent our school, and how to represent your school well is to win. So I think that's one common thing about all of us UAAP players, that hunger to win talaga.
Gotcha. Last one, and then we're out, I promise.
Sure.
How would you guard yourself to stop you? If you and I don't
I'll
know
just
if this
foul myself, and make me shoot free throws every time.
That's right. So that's a great, confident answer.
I'll be Haka-Keef.
That's right. So, Kiefer, you're the best. Thanks for being
thanks,
here.
bud. Thanks you.
So
Thanks.
You are fantastic. Kiefer Ravena. Follow him on Twitter. Follow him in the UAP. Follow him after that into the NBA or wherever. Hopefully, or wherever. You never know, right? But at least we know that you're gonna bring that good guy with all of that talent, and that's what's special about you, Kiefer.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, no one can really. It really is meet Kiefer, and you'll see. You can't really say a bad thing about him. You got to meet him though. All right, cool. Thanks, Kiefer.
Right,
Man.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye. All right, we gotta get out of here. Wait. Am I playing a break and then goodbye, or are we playing goodbye? Well, what's the deal here, guys?
Break.
Break and bye. All right, fantastic. Don't go away. We'll wrap it up after this.
Stay tuned. We'll return after this commercial break.
With All-Stars, we're always on the move. It's really important for us to get better and stronger for every competition that we get into. For all the different lifestyles that we have, some of us are graphic artists, filmmakers. We still find ways to get together. We put a lot of effort in practicing and rehearsing. Minsan may mga biglaang shows or auditions, so it's really important for us to get connected. I use my Globe group messaging to get a hold of everybody else. Malayo na rin ang narating namin, marami na rin kaming napuntahan. So it's really important to get connected.
SM3-day sale.
Everything for the scary and sweet is at SM Supermalls. The SM 3-day sale happens on October 18, 19, and 20 at SM City, Bikutan.
SM3-day sale.
Up to 70% off on great finds. Shop and get a chance to win Suzuki motorcycles.
SM3-day sale.
The SM 3-day sale on October 18, 19, and 20 at SM City, Bikutan.
See posters or print ads for details. Per DTI NCR permit number 6125, series of 2013.
Hi. They say nothing in this world is free, and for the most part, that's true. But here at NMF Network, all shows are indeed 100% free. And as an added feature, you have the option to subscribe to all your favorite programs, also at no charge. Why should you subscribe? By subscribing, you no longer have the hassle of delays when you stream the program. You also don't need to keep checking our site to see if your favorite programs are up because they'll automatically be uploaded to your device as soon as it's available. Here's how to do it. First, open iTunes. Your next step, hit the iTunes Store button. A search bar should open up as soon as you do that. Type New Media Factory in the search bar and all your shows should open. Pick the show you like or all the shows you like. And once that opens, hit the subscribe button. And that's it. You're in. All shows will now be automatically downloaded to your device.
It's Good Times with Mo, the podcast. Call the show tonight and get your love problem answered.
Follow us on Twitter at GTWM Podcast.
And visit www.motwister.com.
Back on the show, we want to thank Kiefer Ravena for being on the program. Appreciate it very much. Hopefully we can have him back sometime soon. Hey, calling all bikers. If you're looking for the ultimate adrenaline rush, look no further than the Globe Arakan XC2. This will be held in Davao City on the 13th of October. That's this Sunday. It's a 60-kilometer loop ride that has a mix of on-road, off-road trail. Globe Arakan XC2 is more than just a bike challenge. It's also a fundraiser to save the home of the Philippine Eagle in the Arakan Valley. So all proceeds will go to the Philippine Eagle Foundation. Registration is free. Bring your friends, and together you can do a globe of good. All right, let's get out of here. Tomorrow on the podcast, of course, Angelicopter will be here. It being Friday, we will not have Kat. We didn't have Kat Alano tonight because of all the hoop stuff, and it would be sayang. So we're gonna have her on Monday since we don't have Bianca for a month. So we'll have Kat Alano on Monday. Okay, great. Thanks, staff, for all the good job that you guys did, and of course, the people who download the show, the chatters, and people who watch it live. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Good Times with Mo, the podcast, was executively produced by Mohan Gulata, engineered by Miguel Alfindo, and operated by Icon Media Inc. Special thanks to Magic 89.9. You can follow Mo on Twitter at www.twitter.com/DJ Mo Twister. Email him at goodtimeswithmopodcast@rocketmail.com.